What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Payne. Welcome back to another Omniheroes video. Alright guys, so we did a video last night about how to spend your diamonds. One thing I forgot to miss, a shout out to Adrian who commented and reminded me actually, is in the guild section, donations and the Grace Room realm is somewhere you definitely want to spend your diamonds. So I just wanted to update that. I put a note in the actual video as well in the description to add these two things in there. The reason why Sage Tome plays a pretty critical part in your growth. So that's something you do definitely want to spend your diamonds and your time on as well too. So put some focus on that because it does affect specific synergies, and then overall the Trailblazer Legacy affects everybody, right? So very important to do some time in there, spend some time in there killing some bosses, collecting some rewards, and upping your Sage's Tome. All right, now next thing I want to talk about today is going to be about the heroes, because a lot of people are still asking about this, and I do want to cover this. I do first off want to say though, now remember, this game is more important about synergies. Synergies and team dynamics matter way more than individual characters, even though individual characters do matter within those synergies. So I will talk to you guys at least about every best character within each of these synergies, and you can build around those characters if you like, but I do not recommend putting these characters together in one team, as it will not serve your purpose and you will be very disappointed in terms of how well it plays out. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to the archive since I don't have every character, and we'll cover each one for you guys. So let's start off with the legendary, I believe these are called the Mystifiers, right over here. You can see here they're Mystifiers. So this, out of these people here, the best unit out of all of them is going to be none other than this angel himself, the metal giant Thalos. The reason why he is so good is the fact that he does incredible damage. He has a shield all around that gives everybody survivability. He has a stun. When Thalos is deployed, it increases the corrode damage dealt by allies by 50%, and corrode is pretty incredible on bosses. And then he has the ability also to increase cure rate, and also additionally increases his attack by 1%. So he's a great combination of DPS and tanking and shielding, and he's overall a very stellar character. Keep in mind though, he's also very hard to get. So if you are planning to play the Mystifiers, that's one of those characters that you're going to have to hold off on until you can actually get him from the Oracle summons by luck, or through regular summons, advanced summons if you're super lucky. That's actually where I got my first copy, was advanced summons. So it's not like he's impossible to get, but it's really, really difficult. Now, between him and the rest of the actual units you can get, probably the most useful one out of all of them is going to be Minotaur as a tank. So if you're looking for a decent tank here that can do quite a bit of mitigation and also can do corrode, pretty damn good tank. So he's not bad if you plan to play Mystifier. So if you can't get Thalos, Minotaur will probably be the next unit you want to get up. Franz isn't bad actually as a DPS too. So if you're looking for a DPS instead of a tank, this is somebody you definitely want to go to, because he does actually apply corrode and can do pretty damn good damage when the corrode does stack. So Franz is also another unit that's fairly good from the legendary sections. Okay, just wanted to cover those ones for you guys. Now the next up is going to be the actual excuse me, is going to be the Valianters. I believe they were called something else back in the day. So the top unit here is actually going to probably be Themis here. She is actually a crazy good DPS. Whenever she does a kill on a target, she'll cast again, dealing 375% to all enemies. So you really want her killing opponents. This is a pretty incredible final slash move, and can do a lot of damage really quickly. Themis turns into a blur of slashes, attack single frontline enemies, dealing 100% PDM, so that's physical damage, and applies one stack of defense reduction, so making opponents take more. And you can see it stacks up to 5 times. Very, very important part of her kit. And also she does defense reduction on all enemies after killing her target. Every 1% increase in Themis' crit resistance rate additionally increases her attack. So the more crit resistance rate she gets, the more attack she gets. So overall, she's a stellar character with a lot to offer for DPS. So she's probably the best DPS in the class in the Valianters. Now the overall best character here though is actually going to be Victoria over here. Again, an angel unit, really hard to get, but they play two different roles, right? Both of them are physical DPS, but with her here, she actually does a lot more. So you can see here Victoria does a 180% damage to frontline enemies, For every 1% of the target HP loss, Victoria damage boost is increased by 2%. So the more the opponent takes, the harder she hits. So very important to note that. She is a frontline damage dealer though, while Themis just attacks one opponent. If she kills, she hits everybody with that move, right? So Victoria transforms into a rainbow and charges at the enemy, dealing 144% damage to frontline enemies and applying 2 stacks of defense reduction for 3 turns. Again, it is a frontline enemy like killer. That's what she's there for. She's there to kill tanks essentially. When ally unit kills an enemy, Victoria grants a shield equal to 20% of her max HP to each of her ally units for 2 rounds. Every 1% increase in Victoria's crit resistance rate is also increased to her attack. So note that, okay? So again, she is probably the best character between all of them, but right with accessibility-wise, Themis would probably be the best choice for damage dealing in that group, okay? Moving over to Ethereal. Now, this is going to be probably one of the best endgame factions, period, okay? There are a lot of good units here to use. And a lot of them are going to hit very hard and very fast, and they are the reason why their synergy is so good is they increase crit damage and crit rate for all allies if you pair them well. Okay, so demons, angels, realistically, all 3 of these are incredible units. All right, so I have Mastima, for example, at 2 stars right now, and he's putting in work. He does require a lot of crit to really shine, and because of these buffs that Ethereal offers, he is perfectly at home. Also, right over here, Karnak is a really good unit as well too. Does physical damage, landing a hit guarantees 100% chance to stack crit boost on all allies. So again, offering him and Mastima, putting them together actually works really well because they get the royal buff and they also get themselves that extra damage. Now, out of the non-angels, personally, it's up to you how you want to go. Most people like to go with Katarina because of everything that she does here. So every time she does AoE first off, with pretty high percentages, landing a critical hit grants 100% chance to deal additional 50% damage. So because of the trait, she does a lot of damage really quickly. She also unloads her gun here, single target dealing 120% damage and applies 2 stacks of attack boost on herself, making her hit even harder. And then when Karina is deployed, the limit of defense reduction stack increases by 5. After dealing damage, there's a 50% chance to apply defense reduction. So easy, a great way to do more damage, right? So she is fantastic for this, and every time she has a crit rate, additionally increases her attack by 2% as well too. And after landing a crit, she applies shield equal to 50% on her own attack to all allies for two rounds. So overall, it gives everybody what they need in terms of buffs. Now, Dorabella is another really good option if you're looking for mass AoE magic damage versus going with physical damage. They do 2 different things, so this is kind of her counterpart, right? So applies defense reduction as well too with AoE. Also right here, Dorabella concentrates her magic, releases 2 missiles, applying defense reduction again. And then right here, when Dorabella is deployed, she has 25% chance to start a sync attack after an ally lands a crit, and she also applies against defense reduction. So very important to note, these guys all have an insane amount of damage, and the Ethereal group is probably the best endgame group in my opinion. That's the one I'm running currently on mine, and I'm loving it. Okay, moving over to the actual, right here, we're looking at the Glorians. Now the Glorians have 2 really big units, okay? The first one is going to be this unit here, who is Gwyn. Gwyn is an incredible damage dealer, has really good magic damage, also stacks defense reduction up to 6 times, then additionally applies 100% leech rate. If the target has 12 stacks, then he applies 200 leech rate, meaning you're going to recover HP super quick. He also works really well with Mastima, right? So note that as well too. Gwyn summons a demonic tide to attack a single backline enemy, which is what he's known for, dealing 120% magic damage and applies 3 stacks of attack reduction on the enemy. Really good for the survival. What is that? A forest of gloom. What was it called again? Right here in the missions, the wilderness. Right here, Forgotten Land. Sorry. I don't know why I said that. Crimson Town, really good for that because of the attack reduction that he does. So if you have him, use him there as well. He'll help you survive more. Okay, so that's probably going to be your best unit for the Glorians there for the demons and angels. Now, as for the actual normal ones, it's going to be Lily and Leah as a healer and a shielder. Can't go wrong with these 2. The ultimate healers probably in the game, in my opinion, next to the angel unit that we'll talk about shortly, but very good units. So those 2 are probably going to be your best ones there. Glorians are lacking a little bit in my opinion. All right, going over here to the actual Avengers. Now, Avengers is a very, very powerful setup, and you have a lot of good options. Now, this is the best healer in the game here. Lachesis, I hope I'm saying that right, has absolutely the best healing, bar none. First off, dispels all debuffs from all 100% chance to dispel all buffs from all enemies. It then also has a really high heal rate. If you look here, it summons a divine light that shines on all allies, providing them with healing equal to 36% heal rate plus 5% of the target's max HP. So especially with tanks, that's huge, obviously, right? And then applies stack of heal rate bonus to all allies, so providing more heals. So he increases healing by 5%. Stacks up to 5 times, is absolutely a broken healer in the game. She's end game healer for sure. So if you get her, you're set for quite some time. In terms of normal units here, the two most popular ones are going to be Selene, and it's going to be Solomon. So Solomon is going to be the best tank, probably one of the best tanks in the game that are legendary, that's not angel or demon. And then if you're looking for a great DPS, Selene is really, really good. And look at the percentage here, 487% magic damage to all enemies. Also right here, it does 160% to frontline enemies. And then over here, receives an active healing. He receives 2 stack of attack boost, and the limit attack boost increases by 20 for all allies. So when he's deployed, he also increases the heal rate for all allies as well. That's kind of the Avengers thing. They last and they damage, right? That's kind of their purpose. So Solomon and Selene, probably 2 of the best ones. All right, now last one we're going to here is going to be the Doomsdayers. This one's a little tougher. So in my opinion here, this is probably the most lackluster in all of them in terms of the units that are available. The best unit here is probably going to be between these two here, right? It's going to be either Halios as a DPS stunner, especially, or it's going to be, sorry, why do we go that way? Right over here. I wish that's how you say it. Hopefully I'm not killing that. But what makes her really good is she applies Confuse to 2 random targets and dispels 2 stack of buffs from enemies. So the Confuse is really good because they don't act on you anymore. They attacked on their own. See right here? A control effect with 50% chance to force the affected target to attack Confused caster or a random ally with a basic attack. So great way to control the entire battle with really good damage, to be honest with you. Alright, so she whips the other allies, dealing damage equal to 10% of our target's current HP. She also applies Demonic Inspiration to them, increasing damage boost by 15% and purifies 2 stacks of debuffs from all allies. So a great increase to damage and a great way to take away debuffs. So overall, honestly, an incredible unit for CCing and buffing your allies. Now, in terms of the rest of them here, quite honest, they're pretty equal across the board in terms of use. I would say Athena is probably the best unit here because of her tanking abilities, so I would pick her over anybody else. And then if you're looking to build the rest of them within the same squad, I don't have much experience, unfortunately, with Doris, so I'm not sure how good she is. I do have experience with Sylvan, not bad DPS, and Merlin, pretty good casting unit, but again, not the greatest out of everybody here. So I would focus on Athena first out of all of them if you don't have either Angel or Demon. Alright guys, this is Payne. Hope the video helped out. Remember guys, this is going over each of the best units within each synergy, but it doesn't mean they all work together. So please focus on one synergy at a time. If you haven't checked out my synergy video, go watch that. Shout out to the Discord for obviously helping. If you have not joined the main Discord, please do so. There are amazing players there who give a ton of advice and have been playing for quite some time. So I'm just kind of piggybacking off of their knowledge and also just testing on my own and figuring the game out as we play. All right, guys, this is Payne. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Take care.